This might be over 10, down 10, right here.
Yeah.
And this here, like, pretend this is an object. This might be over 0, 0. So if this is your guy, 4 here, that's relative to him. If you want him to move right, you add 4 to his relative position. If you want him to go down, you add 4 to his relative y position.
What Gavin said. And so we'll do the same. We'll do the same for these other, with these other events.
But how would that work? Diagonal stuff.
Because how it works with diagonal movement is that it works it works if you hold down both. It works independently of each other.
Oh, okay. But is there a way to like combine those kind of events if needed?
Actually,
Combining left and up as like if both of them are pressed, they cause a specific effect instead of like 2 different effects. Is there a way to do that?
you could, but I'll have to explain that in a later date because we're working on basics right now.
So how they can find the absolute position? Where to put the 0, 0 point for absolute? Because everything here is relative, right?
Yeah. Like this, we created this object, and it's like at a certain position right now. So 0, 0, 0 would actually be on that
The
top left corner.
top left corner, that's the
Yeah.
absolute position.
Yeah, that's the absolute 0, 0 position for game maker.
Alan, do you mind if I just write some notes on the board?
Sure. Now we have freedom of movement, including diagonals. Ooh, 5-star day.
Give me 20 million copies.
Okay, so we managed to get our object moving, but that's all we have. That's all we have for our object. It just moves. It doesn't really do anything actually. So one thing that I'll do is like make another sprite. We'll just make it like this, and we'll make red because red's my favorite color. And we'll like have this little blob right here. And then we'll add this blob into our game as an object. What we want this blob to do is like shoot left and right. Is like shoot left. It's like mostly shoot right. So what we'll do is we'll go to the create event, and then we'll go to the jump. And then we'll go to the. Then we'll use move fix because we're just firing it left. We'll have it fire really fast, like 12 steps a second. And of course, when it's outside of our room, we want to go to main, and then we go to this recycle bin object to destroy the instance. And before we do that, and then if we want to use our object in our game, then we go to add event, key press, space, and then once we have space pressed, we'll go to main 1, create the instance, object 1, relative to our position, and once we run our game, our object can shoot bullets now.
Oh my god!
Oh snap! 2 thumbs up. Oh yeah.
Give me 20 million copies.
Better than Call of Duty.
Well, that's hard not to beat.
Okay, so we have our object. It can move freely and it can shoot bullets. Our object can also go outside the room too. Yay!
God.
Okay, so we have our. Okay, so we have our.
Explain the room.
Oh, the room is. More about the room. The room is like The room is like a canvas where you like put all of your objects in, so that way you can like design your world and like the game and like all of what the game's going to be. So like you can have like one room that like has everything, or you can or what you'll mostly be doing is like making multiple rooms for everything that you want to do. This will be the game room. You'll also like make a separate room for like your title screen. You'll make like a separate room for like your high score list, and so on and so forth.
So everything is a room.
What?
So everything is a room.
The room is where everything lives. The room is where it's basically your world.
Yeah. It's like where you put your objects and where everything like resides in. It's like you can like use it to like.
Like in Photoshop, you've got a blank canvas and you can draw a picture on it. The room is that blank canvas. You can move objects around in the room and you'll see them.
Yeah. You saw that we have our object that can freely move and can shoot bullets. But where's the fun in shooting things if there's nothing to shoot at? So like what good is your character shooting if there's nothing to shoot at? So we'll make a new sprite.
Shoot at empty space because you hate space.
Yes.
We could
Show space what?
screw
Made
space.
out.
Okay, so we'll make our new sprite and we'll make it. Well, I already made our bullet red, so we'll make it. I don't know, dark red, or maybe dark purple, because dark purple is pretty. And we'll just make it like a very generic square. And this will be our quote-unquote enemy of the game. And so we want this. Enemy here, and we should probably. And this enemy will slowly move to the left, towards you, at a very slow speed. And then we'll set up all of these, and then we'll set up our enemies in our room, like so.
Oh my god.
Yes, I like adding lots of enemies because I like my games
How
hard.
unfair is this? Why can't they
Yes.
shoot? Start shooting. You
Oh,
can't
hey.
kill them!
You can't kill them! Oh
You
no!
should have died like 3 times by now.
Oh, I'd just like to point out, so Alan has just done in like 5 minutes in Game Maker what took me about 4 months in that game thing I showed you maybe last meeting. So Game Maker does a lot for you, which is why it's nice.
Yeah. Like I just put all this down in like 5 minutes. Anyways,
Could you redemonstrate?
redemonstrate what?
Never mind, just go on.
Okay. So we saw that we couldn't kill our enemies, right? So what we want to do is like we want to add a collision event to our enemy. So like if our enemy collides into our bullet, we go to main 1, go back to this recycle bin thing, and we destroy the instance. And because we want to reward ourselves for destroying the instance, we'll add 100 points to our score.
Is everyone familiar with what an instance is? Yeah. Alright, you guys are like programmers and stuff. Does anyone not know what an instance is? There's no shame in that? Okay. I will explain to you what an instance is. So, in Game Maker, you define something called an object, and that's like, you're just saying what it is. Like, you could have a bird object, and you just say, a bird has wings. A bird can fly left and right. And then an instance is, you just take that description of an object, and you can create one of them, or you can create 7 of them. Because you've defined the bird once, you've said, this is what a bird is, you can make as many of them as you want, or you can destroy an instance of it. So, it's basically just a copy of this description you've made. And that's, in a nutshell, what an instance is. So when he's talking about instances of this enemy, he's defined what an enemy is, and he's creating as many of them as he wants, and destroying as many of them as he wants.
We also saw in the last compile that I did that when we ran into our enemy, we actually nothing actually happened. We just went through them. So in order to make things a little more challenging, we'll add another collision event. So if our enemy collides with our player, then we go to score. We go to this thing, show high score. And then once it shows the high score screen, then we go to main 2, go to these green arrows, and then it'll actually restart the game. So as we run it now, game over. And then once I input my high score, it just restarts the game.
New high score.
Yay! I got 2 high scores. Yay! All right. And that's basically a good amount of what it takes to make a Game Maker game. A very simple Game Maker game. 5 stars. Game of the year. Now, if we want to expand our game, say like we don't like. What if we don't feel like having our enemies move? So, we'll basically what I'm gonna do is make our enemy be able to shoot. So, to save time, I'm going to duplicate this sprite. Change its colors to like light purple since the enemy is purple. Create a new object with that new object. And then once it's created, we'll have it move very fast, like 16. And we also want to get rid of the object when it's outside of the room.